Take 3. This is This Week in Rec.
Playing games.
Playing games.
Edition.
I'm Reed Nelson. I'm here
Still
with
Izzy.
Elkaffas.
Still Izzy.
I hope it works this time. If you guys saw the way we have this set up, you'd be embarrassed for UH moving forward. Reed Nelson, don't go click on this video. Don't even click on the article. Nothing. Just avoid this or else Zach's going to get fired. Let's get started because we only have 2 gigs of space on this cell phone. Monstars defeat Miller time.
6:30.
69-62. That was a 6:30 game. This is kind of why the system is in place. Now, I know Miller time didn't necessarily complain. Let's get a little closer here. I know they didn't necessarily complain about that was nice. About not getting a higher seed, but having the Rebels play in a game like this, they wouldn't have lost to the Monstars, right? So, take it for what it's worth. Talk about the game.
How do you get beat by that team is the question mark. I believe Miller Time had a full squad, all 7 guys. I mean, boo to you, Andersons. Boo to you. You guys blew the wad last night on the Rebels, and tonight, Monstars are not a good team. Ryan Kelly looked like he had a good game. LaFontaine had a pretty good game. And other than that, though, 69-62, there's no reason Miller Time, after beating the Rebels, should lose to a team like the Monstars. So, congrats, Monstars.
Yeah, within 24 hours.
Yeah.
You beat the Rebels.
The highest of highs to, it was lower than the lowest of lows.
Polarizing. Amazing.
7:30.
7:30. We have.
Red Devils, Scorpions.
That is correct. Red
Thanks
Devils
for showing up, Scorpions. Hope you guys continue to show up. Your win's coming. Next game.
How do you feel about the Leslie brothers? They were getting a little out of hand tonight.
Yeah, it happens. They're not my teammates.
That's true.
Red Devils, you're still old, but good win. Make sure everyone shows up next week. Okay.
And they play the Rebels.
The Rebels.
Without potentially Dustin. So we'll see there. Van Ort and Trey Sales were not here tonight.
Right. Monstars, by the way, played FootBALLERS, so we'll go back to that one, too.
Trey has made a career out of not showing up to playoff games as of late.
And missing free throws.
He's working on that.
Yeah, he is.
The other 7:30 game, Supersonics, Barracudas. Supersonics handily defeat the Barracudas. You may have watched that game. I did not. I was doing stats. What happened?
Sonics just played harder, and they're better. That's pretty much it. Cudas can get a little nonchalant at times, and Supersonics didn't take their foot off the gas. Absolutely. Until like the last couple minutes. So they get Fob 5.
And they beat Fob 5 week 1.
By a lot.
Fob 5 will be without Byrne and without Dustin DuPont. So there's a good chance that we see another upset. 8:30 game, UNO Crusaders.
Closer than I thought. About a 12-point win.
You were playing in this game, so we don't really necessarily know. Was it that close, though?
No, I think they toyed with them a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah. When you sit on the bench as much as I do, you get to watch the other games.
Would you call that a cat and mouse game?
No.
No?
I don't know what that means.
That's usually cats.
Oh, sure. Sure.
Would that be your reference?
I would do human with laser pointer and cat.
Okay, so Storm had the laser pointer.
Right, and Cage was just chasing them all.
Okay, good. All right.
Blue Chips, Green Arrow.
Blue Chips, Green Arrow. You watched this game.
A lot of it, yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I thought Blue Chips got their 3rd win by kind of playing defense on 3 of the guys. Not necessarily on Maher, yes, not really Herzog or Rosebear. The turning point in the game is when Kevin Mayer used his big, huge lower body to knock Pat Herzog out of the game.
We call that a flat tire, right?
Yeah, he gave him like a whole flat left side of his body.
He pulled his hammy.
Yeah.
And he was talking on the bench. This is his first. He's never missed a game in his entire life.
Well, technically he didn't miss this one either. He played a half.
I think he actually meant he's never been hurt, but he said he's never missed a game. Well, he's not going to miss a game because he's going to be watching from the sidelines moving forward. So he's got 3 weeks to rest that hammy. Right. And those things linger, so we'll see.
Right.
Chris Maher, I believe he went 4 of 16, 4 of 17. Really struggled from the field, missed open threes. Were the Blue Chips fortunate tonight?
I would say a little bit. Our whole game plan was stop Maher. So we were throwing extra guys at him when he got into the lane, but he still had more open threes than I would have liked.
For sure, definitely. Final game was the game of the night.
Game of the night.
The FootBALLERS versus the Magic Johnsons.
Incredible end of that game.
This was, we had just talked about this before, this was kind of like Oklahoma City Golden State, besides Oklahoma City ended up finishing the game off instead of losing.
Saturday night's game. We don't know what's going on tonight.
Now, there was debacle after debacle in that game. Refs were making critical errors, calling threes, calling two-pointers, three-pointers, multiple times.
Right.
Guys turning the ball over, being up 4 points and then driving to the lane. It's talk about it. I mean, you watch what happened in the last 10 minutes, basically. Recap the last 10 minutes and then go over the overtime.
The FootBALLERS got up by about 19 points and then proceeded to lazily play the rest of the game while the Magic Johnsons were lights out from three. Mm-hmm. Just hitting shot after shot after shot. Blanton is he's a hustle player. He gets those boards, but he was definitely not getting out on the pick and roll. Mm-hmm. So every time they would pick Arsenio, Abdi, Aaron Daniels, someone would have a wide open three, and they were knocking them down. On the other end, Pinata and Samani,
Aria, just call him
Aria, were missing layups. They were missing. You're supposed to be stalling when you're up 14. Unfortunately, they thought, let's just drive into the lane and shoot some tough shots.
Is that inexperience?
Yeah, but they're the basketball players on the team.
Yeah.
The football players were passing it around like, let's kill some time. The basketball players are going, no, we got this.
Do you think Blanton should be more vocal?
I don't know if it's possible.
I don't know if it is either. Okay, so what happens? Do you remember? It's so long ago now because we're on recording number 6.
Correct.
And the game ended about an hour and a half ago. Do you recall how that game ended?
FootBALLERS won.
Well, I'm saying in terms of regulation going into the overtimes.
I believe it was Blair Johnson who hit a huge three to tie it up.
Yeah, in the corner.
And then there was a missed shot
by Pinata
at the end of regulation. And then first overtime starts off with a 2-pointer for each team.
That counted as three.
And kind of a back and forth. Sherrill's had a good look at the end, couldn't finish, so it goes to double overtime. And then Magic Johnson start off with a big three right away. Aaron Daniels from straight away, right to start out the second OT. But that was pretty much it for the offense for them.
Yeah, they scored 3 more points in the last 2 minutes and 45 seconds of that game.
Pinata hit about a 27-footer to tie it up, and they just kept going from there.
Off the dribble, it was a kind of a miscommunication by
him and Sherrill's, I believe.
No, it was miscommunication by the Magic Johnsons on a switch, and he was able to drill that three.
Right.
And then Abdi really struggled holding on to the ball last couple minutes there, especially last 30 seconds. 2 turnovers, 1 in each overtime.
Right.
That was tough. One thing that you may not have noticed, Ethan Welter didn't play the last 11 minutes of that game.
No, when I really sat down and started watching it, I didn't see him on the court once. I had assumed he fouled out, but apparently that was not the case.
Nope, he last 11 minutes of the game in both overtimes. So what is that? That's 17 minutes.
17 minutes.
He didn't play. I asked him why, and he said he didn't know. But I heard from a birdie on their team that he actually kind of quit when they were down 19 points. He said, "I'm done," and then they rallied back. And then I heard that he wanted in, and they're like, "No. You can't come back in, to try to win the game."
We don't know the same birdie, so I didn't hear any of that.
But here's the thing. I mean, what would you do? I mean, Ethan, he should have been talent-wise. He should have been out there. What would you do?
You ride with the guys who got you to the dance. Kind of. Yep. That analogy's horrible, but the 5 guys on the court gave you the comeback. Ethan was on the bench.
Yeah.
Keep him in.
And are you talking Sulgies for this dance? Are you talking prom? What dance are you talking?
Not prom.
Didn't go to prom.
No,
It's hard to get a date when you're wearing superhero shirts all the time, right?
Yeah, I didn't have great memories.
Yeah, okay. So that transitions us. It's okay. Do you want to cut? Should we cut?
No, I'm okay. I'll get over it.
Transition to Sweet 16 games.
Yeah. Some games next week. Wednesday in Bloomington.
Wednesday in Bloomington. Games tip off at whatever 6:30. They'll be on the website.
Yep.
Gorillas football is a rematch of yesterday.
Correct.
Your thoughts?
Apparently, my little birdie, who's really not little at all, John Goods, is telling me that all the footballers will be there. Hawaii vacation is over, and you guys are missing Marmol.
Correct.
So it's going to be a fantastic game. Their pressure defense is actually something that can happen when they've got athletes on the floor.
Yep.
And their athletes are going to be there. So I think the brains of the Gorillas and the shooting of the Gorillas will ultimately lead to a Gorillas victory.
So Gorillas win. It's gonna be. It depends on who shows up.
Right.
They've requested a late game, so
We're going to give them 6:30 to screw them.
I'm going 5:30.
Okay.
Going 5:30 rush hour right out. I might take the day off and make it a 2:30 game.
I think that's great. Although they're technically not working right now. So.
Shit, you're right.
Okay.
So. That
Who do you
game,
think wins?
It depends on who shows up. Without Marmol, that kind of changes our dynamic quite a bit. We're going to be 6 guys deep because Pinkett's also out. So depending on which game, we might have all of our guys playing back-to-backs.
Right.
Depending on what the matchups are and the times that these games are. So I don't think it's going to be a 50-point blowout like it was the other night.
Right.
The next game, the 2-seed Shockers play
Blue Chips.
the Blue Chips. Take us.
It was a fairly competitive game for about 30 minutes a couple weeks ago. Blue Chips didn't have a full team, and they were missing Zhao. So we beat them in the playoffs a couple seasons ago. They've taken us down in the regular season a couple seasons in a row. So it'll be a good game.
Yeah. Blue Chips, for whatever reason, do not play up to their abilities. It's the weirdest thing. You guys make a bunch of shots. Everybody's on fire, but you just never run away from teams. And I can't even explain it. You guys actually didn't play that poorly tonight. You actually played pretty well, and you didn't dominate that game. So something interesting there. The 3-seed, Fob 5, Supersonics, rematch of Week 1. Supersonics defeated Fob 5
by like 35 points.
No Dustin,
no Burn.
No Burn. What say you?
I think Fob is going to have to get super physical in that game to win. It's going to have to be low scoring. And it's just kind of clamp down in the defense. John and Mike and yourself are going to have some pretty big defensive games. I have no qualms about Josh Hoyle getting shut down. That's going to happen. It's just making sure that we can shut down the rest of the team. But I would have to give Supersonics the edge. At least if we're going to put odds in the game, I'd favor them at this point.
Yeah, they might be. I mean, without Dustin and Burns,
right.
It's a completely different team.
Right.
The 4-seeded Uncle Drew's kids get the 12 o'clock boys, which we did not highlight. The Muskies forfeited tonight.
Correct. I typically don't like to talk about forfeits, but
okay.
But since it's Casey's team and he's kind of an important part of Ultimate Hoops, I think it's probably good to call him out for being a rat bastard.
Yep, I agree. I agree there. Patrick Evans and the 12 o'clock boys take on Uncle Drew's kids.
We going 40-point loss?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it might get to that point.
It'll be ugly. I mean, hopefully Uncle Drew's doesn't decide to be a-holes in the playoffs and will at least take their foot off the gas, but Uncle Drew's kid's a good team. So
you're giving 12 o'clock no chance?
Well, I didn't give them a chance against the Muskies really either, but they forfeited.
Squeaked that one out,
right.
Yeah. Great defensive effort by the 12 o'clock boys tonight.
2-0.
2-0. Blazers, you ought to know.
Rematch of last week's game, I expect a similar result. About a 10-point win for the Blazers.
They don't have it. Andre Perry ate them up last time they played.
It's all about size for that team. Yeah. And with Hamill and Perry, they can't match up.
So we're looking at that 4-5 matchup, Uncle Drew's kids and Blazers in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, Thursday will be awesome in Fridley.
6-seeded Free Ballers take on the
Monstars because Miller Time lost.
Yeah, the Monstars.
And as I did yesterday, I will give the Monstars 0 chance to win.
Okay.
And maybe they can surprise me.
I don't think they have a chance. It's going to be another blowout. This might be the most lopsided Sweet 16 games.
Right.
There might be 3 or 4 games that are double digit. I mean, 20 point plus.
Right. Zip will shut down Ryan Kelly, and the rest won't matter.
Yep. 7-seeded Rebels take on 10-seeded Red Devils.
Yep.
Dustin DuPont reportedly not going to be there. What do you got?
Well, if he's not going to be at FoB, I would say it's safe bet he won't be at Rebels game.
He does like the Rebels more.
He does, as he shows every year in the playoffs. I will give it to the Red Devils. A full squad
Okay.
will be able to beat a Rebels team without Dustin DuPont. Rebels have been a little off this season. Dustin is their engine. And they already beat him once, and I think Dustin was there. So
Okay. The 8-9. Bulls got a controversial bye.
that the Supersonics have not stopped bitching about since it happened.
And Supersonics should be happy because they have a better chance against FoB than they do the Squires.
Right.
So they got a favorable road.
Right.
And they're still complaining.
Right.
But that's what they do.
Yeah.
This is the type of guys that they are.
Correct.
Bulls Squires, who wins?
Kind of guards versus brute force there. And I love Hamill, so I'll go Squires.
Hamill can't make a layup.
I don't care.
Like honestly, I don't know what it is. This entire season, he has tricked more layups than I've ever seen anybody.
I think Corey's going to get ejected on Wednesday night, and
Okay.
Hamill's going to score about 25 points.
Not on layups.
No, on
Jump shots.
Yeah, pull-ups
Okay.
from
They're
about
gonna have to be
17
jump
feet.
shots because he's not making layups. So that's our entire Sweet 16. Do you have any takeaways from either tonight or what you think will happen on Wednesday?
Fairly embarrassing performance by Bloomington. I mean, Muskie's Miller time. We always talk about the competitive balance.
Mm-hmm.
That Miller time loss really sticks out to me as a team who beat the controversial 7-seeded Rebels and then lose to the Monstars, who, I mean,
Yeah.
I would have ranked. I mean, they were ranked lower than the Crusaders, so Fridley's not as terrible as their rep. That's my takeaway.
And just as a heads up, we might run out of space. So if this cuts off, we apologize. We did not cover who you think is going to win the Gold Cup. Who's going to be in the championship and who takes it?
Uncle Drew's kids over the Shockers.
Uncle Drew's kids over the Shockers. Interesting. Okay. So you don't think the football is in? Blanton's probably screaming at his computer right now that you didn't pick the footballers.
I don't know if Blanton can use his computer.
Tell me why.
Because he's stupid. He's just yelling at the buttons instead of pushing them.
Okay. I thought you were going to go more of like a criminal offense kind of computer.
No, he may be yelling at the computer right now, but you know, he'll get over it.
Do you think he needs medication?
No, I think he's hilarious.
So he is hilarious.
And,
but do you think that he's in control of himself, or does he have like an out of body experience?
I don't know if I want my safeties to be in control of themselves.
No. By the way, he did look like there was a deep pass
Yeah.
that went to him, and he did not do a very good job of corralling it.
It's pretty funny how frequently teams will throw long bombs against the footballers.
We did it. Against the footballers. Yeah, and we did it. Cheryl's picked us off.
Charles Johnson picked us off. Josh Robinson picked us off.
Yeah.
Wait, not Charles Johnson. Asiata picked us off.
Go figure, huh?
Go figure. It's like they're athletes.
Anything else?
No.
See you Wednesday.